Hey there, my name is Mayan Shah with RVMax.us, and today I'm excited to take you through a tour of this 2017 Newmar King Air 4533. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it.
So starting in the usual place around front of this absolutely gorgeous bus, we're gonna try not to get sidetracked and stick to the details because it's easy to get sidetracked. Anyways, around front, we've got something you'd expect in a King Air, 12.5 generator, massive gen slide. So what you're gonna see on the King Air is max out everything from Newmar. And I get the sense, especially around this generation, I've had my hands on a couple different generations of King Air, they're becoming a little more practical. So they're merging that absolutely stunning package of what the King Air is with more practicality. It's always kind of been like that. Side radiated, all that stuff, gen slide, but there are a bunch of added things we're going to talk more about today, which I'm really excited about. But anyways, standard gen slide up front, we've got a massive one-piece windshield. I think this is an incredible looking King Air, especially with the way that glass kind of wraps around. It's just stunning. Now we've got LED running lights, of course, standard. We've got running lights up here. It looks really menacing coming down the road. It's not about the LED lights. It's about the styling, and it's about how that manufacturer decides to use the accent lights in relation to the styling. I think they hit it pretty on point there. Isn't it gorgeous? This is the 4553 model. Full wall slide on this side, egress door, and a lot of cool features. And while we're around front of this coach, I do want to point out a gloating feature about these King Airs is we've got 3 65 size tires in the front of this bus. And that is a big deal. It really rides well. The K3 chassis is incredible. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later, but that 365 size, obviously it looks amazing, but it definitely makes a difference when you ride down the road. Now this has the Hadley air ride system. So what does that mean? You can auto level the coach using your airbag system. You can also lower the coach to a threshold, pull it, let's say, into a garage while moving the coach, I think up to 10 or 20 miles an hour. You can also put the coach in a raised mode and do the same. So the Hadley air ride system allows you to use your air ride in a lot more ways than you would on a standard air ride coach. Now here's what I really like about how they're doing this. It reminds me of the old school Monacos. We have air leveling and hydraulic leveling. So that's right, massive hydraulic jacks on this coach, 4-point. So it's up to you if you want to have those. You can kind of use them as stabilizers, or you can jack the coach off the ground. It's up to you, right? These are incredible hydraulic leveling systems. And before I start getting myself sidetracked with that incredible engine back there, which I almost did, we just had to make a small cut, which Kai's gonna be mad because you probably put work in to make it smooth. And I just pointed it out. Let's talk about a couple of things here real quick. First of all, notice the drop down action on this, so you can easily open this with your slide open, although it's of course easier to get everything set up with your slide closed. Wet bay here, very well laid out. We're gonna talk about a couple of things. Over on the left, we've got the mana block. You ever have a leak in a specific area, you can shut off water going to that specific point, and then from there, you can continue using your bus without hindering your entire plumbing system and having to take off the pressure because of it. I like how we have a regular water tap. If you want to wash down the coach or something, get some fresh water out of that huge freshwater tank, you certainly can. So we've got a black and a gray water flush here, and right above, we do have push button dumps for both black and gray. So you don't have to touch them if you don't want it. Now, what I really like about this setup is you can still manually operate your dumps if you need to. They have made this system where you can easily take this little pin out, undo it, and you still got a regular valve. Now that is absolutely ingenious. I also like that we have this master valve right here. So if you don't want some accidental press to let sewer out or something, you still have your master valve at the end. This is very well designed, and I'm quite impressed with it, if I'm honest. Large water pump over here. Let's see what the output is. 55 PSI, 4 gallons per minute flow right there. We've got a whole coach water filtration system set up. Auto tank fill, so you plug your hose in it, click a button, automatically fills that big 140 gallon freshwater tank. Outside shower standard. I like how we have that paper towel up here. Of course, you always want to have that. You keep your soap in here. Electric water reel on the left. And, you know, I'm sure there's details I could continue going crazy on, but I'm going to try to limit myself today. Those macerators are quite nice, right? Because you don't have, you won't end up with the sewer stuck in your pipe after you're done. It'll pump it. It'll make it go all through and down your drain. But that is an ingenious setup for the dumps. I can't get over that. I mean, that's just so smart. It gives you the best of both worlds. Now, over on the left here, we've got some more interesting facts. Our 50 amp power cord reel. That's not the interesting fact, actually. That's probably a really lame joke, and Kai is going to be cringing watching this video. But this on the left is a crown jewel of this bus. We've got two 3,000 watt inverters. So this will allow you to run your front AC unit. That's right. You can run an AC off the inverters and the battery. 6,000 watts of inverter power is, I mean, think about it. That's the same as a 6,000 watt generator you get on a lot of coaches. So you've got basically a generator coming out of your batteries as far as if you want to think about it, if you're not an engineer. But that is incredible. There are Xantrex. Of course, we've got auto gen start, all that good stuff. And guess what else we have? We've got 16 AGM batteries, horizontally mounted. So if you think about weight distribution, that's a pretty nice way to set it up. Some of the most heavy duty rollers and locks you'll see on a bus or on a slide tray in a bus. And check out these doors too. So they naturally want to rest at a point that's under your slide out, which is smart because you don't want it to go up in your slide out, right? If it goes up too far, it could wreck your slide. You gotta have sensors and stuff like that, which it does have anyways. But you can rest it there or continue going. And it rests there. That is genius. Okay, I'm sorry. I would take this over Newell doors. Newell bay doors are absolutely beautiful. Man, I'm gonna get some hate for that. But I don't care, that's my opinion. Now the stainless trim on the bottom of the bus was an option, and I absolutely love how they continued it on that grill. Before Kai got chased down by a bug, that's right, a bug. Okay, it was a wasp. It was something that could sting you. That's fair. I was talking about the radiator. Notice the subject change when I knew I was getting in trouble. Stainless continues on the bottom part of the grill. And I think that's a tasteful detail because that's got to be pretty expensive to cut those pieces, or to, not, I don't know how they make it, but to make these pieces. And wow, that's nice. They're not just covers, they're the whole piece. I thought they were just covers. See, that's nice. You know, sometimes you'll see cheaper manufacturers of that stainless and they'll just cover the top part and you put it under and there's a lip, right? It's still, but those fins are stainless, not covering painted fiberglass. Or these might be some kind of alloy too. See, I'm getting off in the weeds. This is what I do. Details can be noticed on this bus for many years to come. That's the type of coach this is. It's in incredibly excellent condition, all new tires, it's pristine. And dual fillable for the DEF tank. We've got a 15-gallon DEF tank, so slightly larger than your regular 12 to 13-gallon DEF tank you'll see on a lot of coaches. And it's dual fillable, so the tank is actually on the other side. You can fill it from there, and you can fill it from right here too. Oh, aren't I just so observant? He's listening. We've got our storage right here. So instead of having a stinky slinky tube, we've got a stinky slinky box. So that's fantastic. And by the way, I love watching Angie's videos at, what is it, Motorhome Specialist. I can't just steal that term because that's where I love watching those. She can nerd out on a Newmar, that's for sure. Okay, so finally we can talk about the 600 Cummins, or 605 I should say, that's around back. Think about how much torque this is, right? Around 2,000 foot-pound of torque. And what's a lot of fun about a bus like this is you'll be absolutely able to outrun a Prevost bus, okay? Again, pros and cons to every bus, but the 600 Cummins is no joke, and it's all about the power to rate ratio. We do have the 4,000 Allison transmission, which is about the best transmission you'll see in any bus, including Prevost. and a 3-stage exhaust brake. Now the exhaust brake on 600 Cummins or the ISX 15 is no joke. It will rip your face off. The first time I drove a 600 Cummins was a couple years ago, and I take that back. It was probably about 10 years ago that I first drove a 600. But the first time I noticed the exhaust brake was really strong in one of these newer 605s was in a 2017, same year. Another coach was a 605, and it blew my mind away because I came onto an exit ramp and I was like stopping. I had to hit the gas. I was like, whoa, this is too much, or the diesel. I had to get up to the light. That's how incredible the exhaust brake is on this. Now the towing capacity is outrageous, and we have a special treat. As beautiful as some other coaches are out there, with electric raising lids in the back, you can't beat Aire. I mean, it just kind of makes sense too. Both are really cool, that's for sure. If you're asking me, I prefer Aire. It kind of makes sense for a bus, right? You need air shocks in the back, and it's quiet, and it's quick, and it reveals a 605 Cummins. Now, what's super cool is historically, a lot of side radiated buses, sometimes you only get this top hatch, but Newmar has made it a point, and a lot of their coaches, including this bus, you can remove this bottom piece with not too much effort. And if you look down in there, you can just see how much access you would end up with once removing that piece. You could slide the engine out pretty much. I mean, it is a huge plus. This is a proper bus setup. And also notice how this is piped off. A lot of you might know this, especially if you're familiar with Newmar. A lot of coaches do it, but we've got a cold air intake up top. I love that. And you might be wondering what chassis, or you probably already know because everybody knows what a King Aire is, especially if you're within the RV community. It's one of the most accoladed coaches out there. But this has the Spartan K3 chassis. Now the K2 was an excellent chassis. It was around for a while. They were known for putting more outriggers in their chassis. They tried to increase structural rigidity compared to some other manufacturers. The K3 is on a new level. It's been like this for a couple years, and they've just been improving and improving it. And the merge between Newmar and Spartan is kind of legendary. Of course, we've got passive steer in the back, which definitely increases the maneuverability moving around the bus. We've got a lot of high-end stuff from the chassis manufacturer. Comfort drive, of course. This is, believe it or not, when you get to a bus like this, it's a whole lot easier to drive than a small bus, okay? Especially when you start throwing in things like a 360 camera system, because this does have a 360 camera system. You've probably noticed, you may not have, a ton of cameras. Once you have a 360 camera system, I would imagine it's very hard to go back. That's what I think anyways. Once you start moving around with, I honestly feel, and this is what's gonna happen, a lot of you people out there have more experience than me, the 22-year-old. You're gonna know, and know that this is true, as tech goes on, it's gonna become easier and easier to drive a bus. I mean, already compared to what it was like years ago, right? If you had like a standard transmission and you had a 2-stroke diesel and all this stuff, nowadays with the 360 cameras, I mean, if you're someone learning with the 360 camera system, it's gonna be almost hindering. It's like in the movie WALL-E when everybody's floating around. But that's exactly what you want when you're on the road, okay? It is kind of funny for me to joke around about that, but when you're on the road, you want trust, you want verification. You want to know that you're not gonna, because you're gonna be in unknown locations. That's the whole point of RVing. That's what makes it so much fun. That's why we love camping ourselves. That's why we profess it. We love what we do. We love buses so much. But you're gonna be in, hopefully, or maybe an unknown location. And that's where having things like a 360 camera system means everything. Anyways, let's continue moving on. We've got storage down in through here. Here is our entertainment bay. So again, same thing, check that out. Stops halfway naturally. Like one would think the first time I was interacting with it, I didn't realize it went up all that way. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. That's a genius idea. Bose soundbar, remote control on the right. We've got a remote control for the TV. This is a smart TV, Sony Smart. And it just looks very clean in here, right? I like this. It's like a soft, anyways, not gonna go on that tangent because you can find details on this bus all day long. This is the other side of our battery compartment. And I'm opening it because it's just so insane that we have 16 AGM batteries on the bus. All right, this, if you're out here having fun depending, it doesn't matter what the situation. It's always nice to have cool, refreshing drinks. That's what I'm thinking about. So this is a huge plus. And while I have this open, I want to note a couple things. My detail brain is noticing how excellent these sliders are. That was the same thing I noticed for these batteries. This is so well built. Those are the details you want to find in a manufacturer. Anyways, you want to find in a manufacturer. That is our Oasis hydronic heating system. Unlimited hot water. We've got electric elements in it. It'll have 3,000 watts of elements. 1,500 watts of elements is typically how they break them down. So you can have plenty of hot water and furnace heat just using electric power. But the diesel side, of course, will give you unlimited hot water, which is fantastic. And we've got the control right here. It'll give you any codes, the reservoirs in the back. And what's beautiful about these is when you're running your engine, you get free hot water and free furnace heat because it cycles and sucks heat from the engine basically. Central back there up on the right. Let me go and shut this. These doors, look at the mechanism. It's just so beautiful to watch. Before we continue into this absolutely stunning coach, I want to gloat on the fact that we have all Girard awnings, including the slide-out toppers and the entrance awning. And you can control all of your entrance awnings and window awnings, as well as the two main, nearly entire length of the coach Girards that are fit into the body, all with one remote. So that's pretty nice, including this front Girard right here. Now we also have the hydraulic HWH entrance step. So this is one of the most substantial steps you'll see. It has a sensor so it knows exactly where to stop. And this is just so much more than your standard luxury step of the old days. All right, let's use that keyless entry and take a step inside the bus. So welcome to the interior. It's quite phenomenal. And I'm afraid that the camera is just not going to do it justice. But I'm going to try my best to add some more character to what this thing looks on camera. Because I can tell and I know from experience, pictures don't justify it. Let's start here with the living space. Now, of course, these two will swivel. You even have a fold-out desk that you can use to eat on if you'd like once you have it swiveled. But you can just notice how massive this co-pilot chair is. I mean, the pilot chair is huge too, but I love when they give you these huge ones because why not, right? Why not give me a big lounge chair when I'm hanging out, having to deal with, when Kaya's having to hang out, deal with me driving, or hopefully vice versa someday. Anyways, I think the leather in here is stunning, and it doesn't just stop at the couches and the furniture pieces. It actually extends up onto your trim pieces around the slides and on top of the ceiling. So you've got this soft leather material kind of going all along here. And I don't know if it's a real leather. It might be, but it very well could be. It's very soft. It's exactly the same that you find on the couches. Now, I love these couches because they are like Swiss Army knives. This right here is an electric flat. So it'll go flat like a jackknife. And they still have recliners. So you can open up both sides and you've got these massive recliners. They're actually the entire length of this couch. So you pop that open and you've got two sides to it. Pop these back down. Now back behind this couch, we have our Televator. And it's worth noting while we're looking at these windows, first of all, they've kind of increased the window viewing size on this side of the bus. Second, there's something about the way when you're perceiving it, at least from my angle, but especially if you're shorter, you see this beautiful wood and it's met visually by glass, right? There's actually a gap back here because you've got electric awnings and stuff. I mean, electric window shades and everything, because of course the coach has all electric window shades day and night. But anyways, that's a small little perception thing I wanted to point out there. Now we have our Televator. I'm going to go ahead and start letting that lift up. One touch. I love how we have the leather pieces that kind of accent and trim all the windows, right? So you'll see a lot more of it on the other side, but around all the windows, this is not wallpaper. This is a real nice, that very soft leather material, tasteful wall lights, stainless trim everywhere. The interior is absolutely, it's reserved and dazzling. Massive Sony Smart TV. We've got our Bose surround sound system in here, and outlets over on the left, all the outlets have have USBs in them, and every single light bulb on the coach is LED. That's what I was thinking about. I kind of got those mixed up. But this is nice too. So USB and power right behind the chair of the co-pilot, and we have that. We've got a plethora of options for the driver, so you will be accommodated. Now, this is our driver side couch, much larger. We've got a king size air mattress underneath, and we also have kickouts. So you slide that out, and you've got two little recliners there, which is absolutely fantastic. An emergency exit. So there are two emergency exits. We've got the egress door and we've got this window right here. So that's really nice. You've got your guests up here sleeping. They also have an exit, of course, in addition to the main door. This is where they just go crazy with that leather wrapping, and that's sort of a King Air thing too, right? All the pieces around the windows are done so right. They're Corian accented, right? So you've got Corian window sills, and then they're fitted out with these pieces. Look at the slide corners. This is awesome to me. So the edges of the slide, they've finished it with this. They finished it with this stainless piece right here. So it just gives it a more finished out look that reminds me a lot of a Prevost bus. And another cool thing is both of these main slides in the front are HWH flush slides. So while I glaze past that massive second Sony TV up in the front, we're going to talk more about the cockpit before we finish this video. I'm already getting sidetracked. Check this out. So HWH flush both sides of the coach, and it ends up giving us so much additional space that is really flexed in the dining space area, because look at the amount of walk space between here and where the kitchen is, and look how much space you have to get around the chair. You can actually put the seat way back. That's so comfortable. This is a minor thing, but those out here with RVs will know, some of the older ones, that's about it, right? That's all you got. Let me slide that back forward. There's a ton of storage in this coach, right? So that is a huge plus. Newmar has, I think they're really nailing all the proper things. They've got great travel space now, huge open space when they open up, practical when they're thinking about serviceability, things like that, and they're well built, and the woodwork is off the charts, because this has about a $9,500 upgraded Havana Rift oak wood. Of course, they all have terms for their special colors, but this oak, let me tell you, it's absolutely stunning. It's so reserved, and yet there's so much detail. It's a beautiful balance. Anyways, this will extend. You can easily seat 4 people here. Again, that flush tile continues there, and this tile, it's like that wood looking tile, and it just has a great texture to it. It feels so good. It's substantial under your feet. It feels more like a house. I don't know how to explain that or why that feeling comes to me. It might just be me, but that's what I get the sense of. This has, again, another option. We've got a electric underfloor radiant heating system for this floor. So you'll be so comfortable in this coach. Now here we have a farm style or a farmhouse style sink. I learned that term from Kaya, so I was a little bit nervous saying it correctly. I love these pieces, right? So the sink is massive. We're going to see that in a second, but look how the cover pieces just, they are styled, right? And I also like how they've cut the thickness a little bit out of them. Because they used to be so heavy. I mean, these are still dense, but look how massive that is. That's absolutely beautiful. Matches all, and the stainless goes so well with it all. This back on here. I also like this. Look how far that comes out. That comes out to about the middle of that farmhouse sink. And this is a touch faucet. So you just touch it, use it, pull it out. I love how it comes out so far. That's like a big plus. Now down underneath there, we've got 2 additional water filters. So you can get some nice filtered water to drink. And then over here, we've got an induction stove top right here. Again, thin inserts. I love these. They're so much easier to pull out. I love those little mounting pieces too. That induction stove is fantastic. I'm not even going to talk about the backsplash. It speaks for itself. It's absolutely beautiful. Those little glass pieces. I will point out this. I love how they have these stones. Like that looks like a stone they cut, like out of some mountain or something. I do like that. Looks a little natural, and it's a nice offset to that dash of kind of color that brings out some of the warmth of the colors in the rest of the bus. Anyways, up above we have a microwave convection oven here, an Advantum. So these are fantastic. And down below we've got our Fisher and Paykel dishwasher in a drawer. Massive amounts of storage space. It's so well laid out. Huge Whirlpool residential refrigerator right here. And next door, we have a pantry with a bunch of demonstrative goodies in it. So this doesn't come with the bus, the goodies, but just admire the mechanics of it. It's absolutely beautiful. Look at how this rolls out. It's got a roller in a slider, so it goes back in, and it's very well built. That's a part that you can only explain by feel, and it's one of those things where that's why Newmar has a brand. I like this detail. It reminds me of a Prevost bus, and I think it's genius. They put a mirror finish on that piece down there, and why don't more buses do that? Because guess what it makes me think? It makes it look like the countertop is floating, because from my perspective, it's just reflecting, right? That's a nice little thoughtful touch. Here is our half bath. We've got a ton of space, again, decked out just as you would imagine a half bath in a King Air would be. Oh yes, this is so much better than the old door. Oh, look at that little latch too. You see that little stainless? That's awesome. It just so seamlessly and effortlessly does that. They really improved this mechanism. The older coaches were not as good, but they still had this good idea. A lot of storage, or a lot of space in here, push button, vent out, got your own fantastic fan. Like I said, ton of storage. You've got main breakers back there, LED lights. You've got your own heat exchanger in here. So if you really like it warm, hit a button and you've got warmth coming in there. Absolutely love that. Now here is our bedroom, and I love that. I've been saying that too much, but this RV honestly has blown my socks off. The biggest thing that turned me over, because these coaches are stunning, right, is the travel space. The travel space is the final piece for me. Everything else in these Newmars is perfect, and this coach I think has it. It has it all, but that's nice. It also helps with sound deadening, you know? It's not as hard as just straight wood. It gives it texture. It's not in your face. This is what I mean. It's not proving anything. It's just beautiful as it is. Okay, bedroom. We've got a king mattress. We've got a ton of storage. We've got a lot of walk around space, outlets everywhere. And we've got, of course, all the same beautiful finishing out with that leather. I love this outcropping. They've really, you know, the outcropping used to feel like it was kind of, they're going to do it and kind of but this is an outcropping on a bed. And it just gives the bed more of a feel if you see what I'm saying. But I love how up here, and this is the same for the front roof accent pieces or trim pieces, there's like a stainless piece backdrop reflecting those lights. It's beautiful. It gives you a good amount of indirect light, especially at night when you're camping in the bus, because you know you don't want to have, if you just want to have a calm, relaxing evening, it's a little dim in here, no bright lights, you just have that. It's perfect. Anyways, check out this other side. That is stunning. Massive Sony TV. You've got a Bose system here and an incredible amount of storage. It's all just so beautifully cut and so clean. All the lines are so clean. I love this Newmar styled wood. It's just good woodwork. It's like old school woodwork in a way. It's not like crazily styled. It's not crazy. It's just well built. Anyways, you've got all your controls for your lights, gen start, all that good stuff right there. And right here inside the bedroom, we do have our master control, just like in the front. And I love how throughout the coach, we have motion detecting lights. So as you walk through the coach, if you don't want your lights on all the time, but only when you're there, which is what makes sense, they will turn on automatically. So I think that's absolutely genius. Just so simple, but so smart. So that's a nice little thing I wanted to point out there. Now let's take a step back into this beautiful master bathroom here. And we've got one of the most gorgeous showers you'll see, but first we're going to talk about the rest of the bathroom. So double vanity. These are just awesome, right? It almost looks Roman the way it comes out.
of this stone brick here, or that sort of subway tile almost. Still a ton of storage. There's storage on both sides here. Vanity mirror is so seamlessly mounted there, it almost doesn't look like it's a mirror. It looks like it's kind of built with all the wood until you see the edges, but it's doing a lot better than it used to, especially I think the interior accent lights add to that. Little outlets right here. Of course, controls for everything. We've got a massive wardrobe back in the back here. Nice lock, LED lit. Another push button Dometic toilet here. And look at, I love how the shower, they continued that subway tiling on the base of the shower. And then the shower itself is absolutely massive and absolutely stunning. I'm gonna shut up, let you enjoy that, because this is beautiful. So that will conclude it. And imagine you're getting out of your nice huge shower like this, unlimited hot water, and then you put your nice foot on your heated tile. This is the definition of incredible, top of the line camping that just makes you want to go camp as much as possible. And think about it, this is anywhere, right? With that increased travel space, heck, you're in a rest area on the way to your big, beautiful destination and taking that shower, right? It doesn't matter where you are. Okay, washer dryer stack. Yep, whirlpool, straightforward. This woodwork is so well done. All right, let's go talk about the cockpit and some of the controls. First of all, in this cockpit, it's so clean. Even though we've got a plethora of buttons and everything, the leather and the way it's put out is just so clean. It feels all encompassing too, because they've continued on both sides. This leather piece goes all the way behind both of the seats. And it just, again, it gives you more of a cockpit feel. And I think they finished it out right. Now I'm going to start over here on my left. They've got the Hadley Air Ride. That's where you control it. So the Hadley system, when you're going down the highway, it will actively manage weight distribution. It's really incredible as far as what it can do. It'll make you feel like you're going so much slower around corners than your standard RV. It's almost scary. Now the HWH is hydraulic auto leveling. Got our 6-speed Allison transmission control, auto tag dump as well as manual tag dump, and of course our 3-stage engine brake. 2 cup holders there, headlight switch, you can control the dimness, all that basic stuff. Got 3 memories here. Silver leaf dash. So the silver leaf dash is pretty incredible, as everybody knows. Comfort drive control. And this steering wheel is a smart steering wheel. It definitely feels a lot higher quality, like this leather is thicker and nicer than your standard bus, but that could be me reading into it too much. I love this. Electric control, everything here. And they're actually pretty reliable. I have not seen one that has broken. I'm sure it happens, but it's just convenient. And at first, I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw this some years ago, electric adjustable steering wheel, I was like, that's so, come on. And then I actually took a bus on a trip twice that had it, and I was quickly and easily convinced. It's really convenient. It's crazy how we adapt to easy and comfortable things. Now over here, we've got multiple screens. I love that because you can keep your cameras up while you access everything in your radio head unit, your Bluetooth, everything else that you want to access. You can access while still seeing your camera going down the road. And it just gives it that look. Auto Gen Star here, so you click it once. This is a really nice system. You can go through basically all your cameras here. It's like it's got a full security system taking advantage of the 360 camera system. So not only do you have the 360 cam, you've got basically a security cam system. This sadly is the end to the tour of this 2017 King Air. If you would like any more information or are interested in purchasing this beautiful coach, please feel free to call or text me at 864-376-5600. Thank you for watching and have a great day.